Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dova with East African Affairs, bringing you an update on the Tigray crisis. I just want to quickly apologize for the quality of the audio here. I don't have my usual mic set up. I'm actually not even home. I'm just sort of using my AirPods, so please forgive me for the quality. But Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, in an address to members of parliament this morning, finally publicly admitted for the first time the presence of Eritrean troops in Tigray. This really isn't any surprise to anyone who has paid attention to the reports coming out of the area over the past few months, in which these forces have been accused of countless massacres, the looting and burning of countless villages and homes, and the rape of thousands of innocent Tigrayan women. This is simply just the first official statement from the federal government acknowledging their involvement in the war on Tigray. However, that isn't what I wanted to report to you all about today. Like I said, this isn't really breaking news of any kind if you've been paying attention to anything other than government propaganda for the past few months. What I really wanted to talk to you all about is what he said in regards to the reports of rape and sexual violence being used as a weapon of war in the conflict. Here's a short clip from his address in response to a question about these rapes.
ትግራይ ስላለው ችግር የሚሰቃዩ ሰዎች የሰሜን ዕዝ ጥቃት በሚመለከት ምንም አያነሱ። ሰሜን ዕዝ እንኳን ተጠቃም ተዋረደ። ሴቶች እኮ አሁን በወንድ የተደፈሩት የኛ ወታደሮች ግን በሳንጃ ተደፍረዋል።
For those of you who can't speak Amharic, he basically said, while their women might have been raped, our soldiers were stabbed with daggers. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the most disgusting things I've seen a head of state say in my lifetime. I may only be in my early 20s, but Jesus Christ, he basically just equated the mass rape of thousands of women who have nothing to do with the warring parties involved who are actually, fighting this conflict. He compared their rape to the killing of soldiers who sign up to die. I'm sorry, I have respect for all those who decide to go into military service. But as a soldier, you are accepting the real possibility that you will be killed in combat. So to compare this rampant sexual violence against the Tigrayan women, to compare that to killing soldiers who sign up to die in combat is just mind-blowing. For those of you who are going to say, well, he was referring to the soldiers in the Northern Command who were apparently stabbed in their sleep, guys, that narrative has been completely debunked at this point. There's been a ton of evidence that's come out in the past couple of months that indicate the federal government, in collaboration with the Amhara regional government and the Eritrean government, have been planning an invasion of Tigray. The Amhara regional police commissioner flat out admitted in his book that they were amassing militiamen and Amhara special forces, or Liyuhayl, at the border with Tigray before the conflict even started. And apparently they were even making arrangements with units loyal to the regional government inside the Ethiopian National Defense Forces to bring tanks and mechanized vehicles to the Amhara forces. Also, Abiy, in an address to Parliament a few months ago, admitted that he scaled up the drone program before the war broke out because he was getting ready for a war against Tigray. And lastly, the involvement of and coordination with the Eritrean troops very early on, like in the first few days of the conflict, indicate that they too were involved on the planning of this war. Long before the attack on the Northern Command, especially because Tigrayan media outlets were reporting on a troop buildup to the north for a while. We were just told not to believe them because, TPLF lies, TPLF lies, TPLF lies. Well, maybe it's a case of the boy who cried wolf, but they were telling the truth. But lastly, just a week or so before the conflict broke out, Abiy literally tried to install a new general in command of the Northern Command that would be loyal to him, and one can assume that this was pretty much intended to help in preparing the invasion that was going to come. So this was planned. The Tigrayan officials received intelligence of this attack and acted accordingly. They did a preemptive strike. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Two national armies, Arab drones, and bloodthirsty ethnic militias all combined, unfortunately, were too much for one region's security forces to handle. But to say what he said today is to essentially rub salt in the wounds of the people of Tigray and the women of Tigray, who again, he refers to here as their women, by the way. We see the use of that word, their, in reference to the people of Tigray again. So I think that gives you an idea of who he believes is Ethiopian and who isn't. But to say that while women are still being raped, all the while having claimed no harm came to a single civilian. That is the most disgusting thing I've seen from a head of state in my young lifetime. Very shocking, very saddening, but those are the words of the Prime Minister of Ethiopia in his address to Parliament today. Thank you for watching.